Victory or death! Give them hell!
Good morning, ladies and gents, back with another Conquerors Blade video. This time around we're going to be doing the rune and kind of the weapon build for the Glaive for Season 12 for Helheim, and I'm going to go into everything that you need to know if you want to play Glaive this season. Before we get into the video though, hit that subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date with the latest and greatest of Conquerors Blade. So then Glaive, unfortunately, still has not had any major buffs or balancing or anything like that. It is still, unfortunately, in the middle of the pile of the usable weapons. I will be making a weapon tier list for the season in the next couple of weeks, but right now you're looking at really a B/A kind of grade for the Glaive at the moment, depending on how you are playing it, how experienced you are, and how well you kind of know what to do with it in terms of not overextending and getting yourself stuck in places, which I often still do. So the Glaive is, if you have watched any of my other Glaive guide videos, you will recognise a lot of similarities. I have not really changed how I play the Glaive, and I am still wearing medium armour, I'm still full strength, and like all the skills are still exactly the same. I tried the charge with the charge rune, I've tried the heater battles as well for a couple of weeks. I just do not find either of them are really that kind of viable. If you are not liking God of Battles, so the one that actually buffs you and all of your troops around you by 15%, the one I probably would suggest to use is probably Charge, so you can use it as more of an escape method rather than a kind of starting the fight method. Charge for actually running away from stuff is pretty good. It does give you a really good speed buff for a couple of seconds. Other than that, I genuinely do not think is worthwhile using at all. The only time really that's going to be kind of useful is in death matches. If you play a lot of death matches, then maybe swap out God of Battles for Charge. That's the only kind of change that I would make. So as you can see, full strength attributes for the Glaive, medium armor. I've gotten all Carnifex this season. I haven't bothered doing the I've got it, but I haven't bothered breaking down the seasonal armor. If you want to go 2 and 2, that's up to you, but right now I'm just using all of my kind of gear for the leadership. That's really what I want to do. The stats that actually come off of them though are pretty good anyway. If you want to use 2 and 2, then obviously you'll get increased piercing, slashing and blunt damage by 150, plus off the seasonal armor, the medium seasonal armor, you will get plus 200 piercing, slashing and blunt damage. So gives you a little tiny extra buff, a little extra boost of damage. So if you want to go down kind of that route, then by all means go down that route, but I would still highly suggest that you play medium armor, because the damage between medium armor and heavy armor is just too much. It's just too much of a difference to really drop. So I'm going to be putting a bit of gameplay footage in and throughout this video so you can kind of see the damage numbers that I am popping off. But I'm scoring like 11-12k against heavy armors, not critting. That is some massive damage. When I played heavy armor, so for the beginning part of the season, I actually played 4 sets, so the whole set of heavy armor, and I did it really because of the leadership bonus from that anyway. But actually I just wanted to see if it was actually viable, if it was actually made a difference to my survivability in battle. I can safely say it did not make any noticeable changes whatsoever. So all of you out there that tell me that I am a very, very squishy Glaive and I die instantly, I die just as quick in heavy armor as I do medium armor. But if I am using heavy armor, I am definitely not going to be hitting heavy armor heroes for 12,000 damage off of my ultimate. I would be lucky to actually score about 8,000, 9,000 to be honest. That is a huge difference in damage potential. The fact that you are just dropping so much damage in kind of exchange for another 2 seconds in the fight, where actually you're going to be a little bit fucked anyway, because you are still really dependent, as this class, you're really dependent on your skill rotation. Once that's off and you're waiting for all the cooldowns on it, you are a little bit stuffed. The normal attack still isn't great. To be honest, like genuinely, by all means go ahead and try it, but I just do not think heavy armor Glaive is viable in TW, in sieges, in ranked, wherever. They just do not survive any longer than if you are playing medium armor, but you're playing medium armor a little bit careful. You're not overextending, you're not getting yourself caught in places. So going through all of this kind of stuff, you can see all my kind of numbers and everything there. When you are crafting your equipment, always focus on either obviously leadership for your armor pieces, and when you are crafting your weapon, focus on strength, focus on blunt damage. The amount of people that have sent me stuff recently and said, is this a good glaive, and it has no extra blunt damage, just has extra slashing damage, it's not really that good, because your main damage output is blunt damage. That is what your two big heavy hitting skills are using, multipliers off of the blunt damage. So the more blunt damage you can chuck into your build, the better. So when you are, like I said, when you're crafting your glaives, get ones with extra blunt damage and extra strength, preferably as well, just to really kind of buff it up a little bit more. Skills, before I go into the runes, I just want to show you, just in case you've not seen one of my videos before. So we use God of Battles because that increases all of our damage for 10 seconds by 15%. Breaker of Shields, that's my first really heavy hitting kind of skill. As you can see, this scales off of blunt damage with that first hit. Warlord's Greetings, so you've got a little bit of CC ability. CC kind of allows you to pop off your ultimate if you can manage to time it quite right. Does scale off of slashing damage, this one. I'm not really using this one as a damaging skill. It's more just to kind of crowd control, is to give me that kind of couple of seconds stun on an enemy hero. And as ever, Flying Reaper for our ultimate. Hail Blades still is not viable in any way, shape or form. It is an utterly useless skill. Flying Reaper you can get knocked out of very, very easily, so just be aware that even if you are popping this off, it's very easily interruptible, unlike some other dual blade ultimates, which that's a whole nother story I'm not going to go into today. But Flying Reaper by far is the best ultimate for the glaive. If you are looking at becoming a bit more of a unit damaging kind of hero, then use Arc of Steel instead of God of Battles, because that does a lot of kind of AoE damage. Other than that, not overly great, to be honest. Charge, like I said, only use that as an escape ability, not a start in the fight ability. Heat Battles, I use this for a bit and it says it removes dazed, knockdown and concuss. However, I found there were a lot of times I was knocked down and I just could not use this skill. It was just greyed out, so I couldn't use it, which makes it utterly pointless in my kind of point of view. If I can't use it to actually get myself out of the shit, why would I bother using this and sacrificing extra damage from God of Battles? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, to be honest. So those are all my skills. So going back into the runes, now you can probably imagine the kind of rune path that I've gone down here. So reduces cooldown of God of Battles and Heat of Battle by 15%, really useful in things like TW and stuff, because actually I want to be constantly buffing up the damage of the units and stuff around me. Agility by 2, strength by 2, so just the very common kind of runes, just give me a little bit of an extra bonus there. After using ultimate skill, this is the one that you definitely want to be going with, because you are going to probably be instigating fights by using your ultimate skill. So definitely have this one rather than upon killing a hero, because that's a little bit dodgy, to be honest, but you're always going to be using that ultimate skill, so definitely be using this one. Increases all damage by 30 points for 10 seconds. Not huge, but I will take it. Bandaging takes 40% less time to heal the same amount. Definitely, I would say, whatever class you are using, you need to be using that rune, because that is a godsend of a rune. Going down to the chest piece. So, a lot of people have asked why I have chosen this one rather than increased damage by 10%. I feel that the increased damage by 10% is alright, but I'm obviously going to be getting that buff anyway from my God of Battles, and I think once I've popped off my ultimate, chances are I am in the thick of it, I am at the front line, I am fighting stuff, and I think the 3% reduces damage taken by 50% for 3 seconds gives me that little bit of sustainability, survivability, so I can actually pop off the whole rotation of my skills and then actually get myself back out of the fight. I think that one is, or this rune here, is just far more viable than increases damage dealt by 10%. Increases armor, increases strength, so I've got a little bit of a kind of buff there, both for armor and for strength. Going down to my feet, so while rune Roar the North's infect increases all damage by 250 points, while all types of defense fall by 10%. I think personally that is a banging, an absolute banging rune, because I'm going to be taking a kind of base level reduced damage for 50% anyway, so actually reducing down my defense by 10% literally matters nothing, it means nothing, it changes nothing to me, whereas increasing all my damage by 250 points, that's huge. So if I can pop off my God of Battles, then pop off my Flying Reaper, and then actually go into that Warlord's Greetings, stun that person, and whack him with the Breaker of Shields as well, you pop off a lot of damage very, very quickly. Movement speed isn't overly useful, again, increases all defense by 15%, not overly useful. I'm not a tank class, I'm not there to sustain damage, however I do have that other rune to actually reduce all the damage for 3 seconds anyway. Agility, so I've got a little bit of extra penetration there. Strength again, and then finally down onto my gloves, increases crit value by 70 points. I think I'm still trying to play around with this one a little bit. I think personally this is the best one, because I don't think that actually that bleed damage anyway is enough to really take up a rune spot. And this one reduces all defense by 6% for 5 seconds and stack up to 3 times. I'm not really, my kind of mindset is I'm not really going to be stood in a fight using my basic attacks, using my normal attacks. I'm really going to kind of just want to pop off all my skills, maybe chuck a basic attack or 2 in, but I'm not going to be just stood there whacking constantly stuff. So actually I think increasing that crit value by 70 points is really, really important. Restores 1 health per second. Is, I don't think, overly useful, because remember this Roar of the North only lasts for like 10 seconds anyway, so I don't think that's overly useful there at all. And then I've just increased strength, so just really, really buff up that strength, to be honest, really hit that strength hard. So that is my Glaive build for Season 12 for Conquerors Blade. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you are playing Glaive, if you're thinking about playing Glaive. Let me know if you've got any other questions or any queries about the Glaive as well. As I will demonstrate to you, as you can quite clearly see, it is still my most played weapon, not just in this season, but in all seasons. So the nearest thing I've got to it is the Nodachi, and that is nowhere freaking near. That's just a ridiculous amount of battles I've played with the Glaive. So let me know any thoughts or any queries that you have, obviously down below, and I will obviously get back to you. Thank you very much for watching though, folks. Please do hit that share button, share this video around to your housemates, to people that you know that want to play the Glaive or play the Glaive and play it really badly. It is an easy class to really play not very well. It is quite easy to overextend, it's quite easy to get yourself stuck in places. Like I said, I still do it myself. I'm definitely getting a lot better on that. You just got to know when to actually come out of the battle. You are not there to just keep pumping out the damage. You're there as a big burst glass cannon damage kind of damage dealer. You whack out all of your skills, you pump out all of that damage really quick, and then you get the fuck out of there. Wait for all your skills to come off of cooldown, rinse, repeat. That's how you are meant to play this class. Thank you very much for watching though, folks. Please hit that like button if you did enjoy this video. Leave me obviously a comment down below, share that video around, sub if you haven't already, and I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.